Okay. One more time. That was very good.
Thank you.
Hi.
Well, hello, Andre.
Hey, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you. It's been so long since we've seen each other.
Seriously.
Do you think that we should maybe do an outfit change when we are recording back-to-back episodes to give the viewer the impression that some time has passed?
I don't want to lie to them. They're my friends.
Well, guys, just so you know, we often film these in batches.
Can you blame us? We're busy.
And who cares?
And who cares?
Who cares?
Okay. So, my darling.
So what are we talking about today, Andre?
Okay, I want to talk about Boots Riley's new film, I Love Boosters. We just saw it this weekend, 2 nights ago, but 2 nights ago.
Just recently came out.
What a delight.
What a delight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Boots Riley, obviously, to all of our viewers know this, but in case you don't, Boots Riley is a incredible Bay Area filmmaker. So, I mean, there are filmmakers who are from the Bay Area, but you know that Boots Riley is from the Bay Area by watching his films because place is such an important part of it.
Totally. Oh my gosh, totally. I was just thinking that this morning.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I just the two things. One, not only is this was true about Sorry to Bother You. I don't know if I think it was his first film because I was watching a director's conversation with him where he was talking about how he had kind of grown up in the world of rap and I don't know if he grew up in it, but he was saying that like rap was his quickest path to storytelling. Music was the first, like the easiest path to him to be able to start telling stories, which I think is such a, I can just so deeply relate to that. Like what is the shortest path from not having art in front of you and having art in front of you? And so he was treating all of these, and he said it was easier to get money. It was like quicker path to solvency, basically. And so making music videos became like a way of telling stories. And so that's how he kind of started. And then Sorry to Bother You, what I think was his first feature. And it was so very much in Oakland. I don't think as much though. So Sorry to Bother You it took place in Oakland. But I do not think that it was the same as what was happening in I Love Boosters. I feel like I Love Boosters was so the story of Oakland and San Francisco.
Such that it couldn't be told somewhere else. Like that was a uniquely Bay Area story.
Yeah, and I think that like probably because of how absurd the income inequality is here, where or in how worlds apart the Bay Area, like how Oakland and San Francisco are so different. And like it just felt like a place, I mean, we have a main character who is living in a fried chicken shop that has been abandoned. That's where she lives in Oakland. And then they come to San Francisco to do a lot of the robbing. Although it started in Walnut Creek, which is funny. But like there were just scenes where she was crossing the Bay Bridge via car, and that was so, we've done that drive 1,000 times, and then we arrive in San Francisco, and there's something so San Francisco about the San Francisco. And in fact, it was like part of the parody. Like, it was satire about San Francisco, and I have more to say about that, but we could either get into that now or...
Why not?
My favorite image... Okay, so basically, she has been hitting these, like, clothing stores to rob. There's this image of... And this movie's so kooky. Like, the trailers did not paint a surreal picture. Were you expecting this surreal...
No, it was goofy. It was fun. It was really silly and playful.
And ridiculous.
In a way that created such a beautiful container for a much more serious conversation that ultimately the film explored. It was delightful.
It was like, it was absurdist humor at times. And none...
And whimsical.
Whimsical, yeah. And none felt more absurd to me than... I mean, the human... I don't want to ruin the ending, so we're not going to talk about that. But, like, one of the just, like, peak absurdities was when we arrive in San Francisco, we have a shot of this building that is completely crooked. And that in itself is so, like, I don't know, Dr. Seuss-y, sort of, like, crazy. And then inside, in order to, like, play with this further, the floor is crooked inside. So it's clearly, like... Yeah, and they're not walking normally in it. They're like having to like walk uphill and like push a cart uphill, and it's not working. Like, and so, but I love this because it is clearly this high-rise luxury building in San Francisco. It
And it sucks. Like it's this fucked up building, which I think speaks to some of the interesting things about Bay Area wealth. Is that there is this extreme wealth that is,
and they buy Cybertrucks.
and they buy Cybertrucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is also, I mean, it wasn't occurring to me until we were having this conversation after the show and having dinner, where I was reminded that there actually was. I just had family friends who lived in this luxury building that was actually sinking. Like, there's a lot of buildings in San Francisco that are actively sinking because they're not built on strong bedrock, or they were pushed too fast through development or what have you. And so there are a number of buildings, and Salesforce Tower apparently is too, like, that are tilting currently and like sinking and shifting. And so I think just like having this very wealthy exploitative designer in this luxury high rise that is actively tilting, and then maximizing the joke of that to the point of absurdity. It was just like, I was so pleased and delighted by this building. I don't know why. I was just so drawn to it.
You know, the physical humor was really well done. There were several specific examples of like Keke Palmer's character struggling to walk up the slanted floor and slipping on it.
And then it was go ahead.
And the sort of like cartoonish, you know, exaggerated movements of her legs. There was a time where she had stolen a bunch of outfits from a store and was wearing them all at the same time in this enormous costume. It was just very well done. I mean, I find physical comedy to often not be funny, but this was just a particularly beautifully done kind of buffoonery.
Yeah, and I think that like it's that there's kind of a storybook comic book element to it because it was so silly and ridiculous. I don't know. It was just like, and then they played with like tropes of filmmaking too. Like there was like a commentary on making movies as well as a sort of like funny undertone to all of those moments of comedic relief.
And I mean, obviously Boots Riley is an auteur, and we knew this already, but like it would be impossible to see this film and not know immediately that Boots Riley made it, because it's so like the use of color is so characteristic of him. The subject matter, it just is, it's this very unique auteurish kind of fingerprint that he leaves on his work.
And the loud music is so interesting, and I think that he has such an intentional choice. I mean, I was watching for the Sorry to Bother You commentary. It was like there's music that we hear as audience that's non-diegetic, and then there's music that the characters hear that's diegetic, and like all of that diegetic music is made by one group and all of the non-diegetic music is made by another group.
I love that.
And so he's separating it that way, and I feel like sound was such a big part of this movie as well. But color, I think, was a conversation that we've been having a lot in this household.
Well, I mean, because Boots Riley has always played with color in interesting ways. So, for example, when you
even
watch
his own outfits,
exactly,
yeah.
like in everything that he does. In Sorry to Bother You, there's this very characteristic kind of set design that leans a lot into monochrome. However, in I Love Boosters, color was part of the plot and part of the message in a very interesting way. Such that, for example, you know, the main villain designer in the film rotates through a different color every month. But then, like, her description of color was this sort of excessively academic way of talking about it that was so far removed from lived experience. It was like about the reflection of light off of surfaces and how that induces neurochemical changes in people, when we're fundamentally just talking about the perception of color. Because there was this kind of ongoing trope in the film of this woman taking the innovation of low-income Black and brown communities from the Bay Area and then doing the same thing, stealing their designs, but then slapping a sort of academic explanation on it and calling that innovation, while at the same time she gets to turn around and call the people whose work she's stealing low-class urban bitches.
Yeah.
And it was just this very, very fascinating kind of a cycle of exploitation that was portrayed in the film.
Well, and I mean, this is not about color, and I really want to come back to color in a second, but like, there were these. I mean, talk about two worlds. Like, this movie is just a world of two worlds. I mean, and there's multiple circumstances in the film where there's two worlds, right? There's the Oakland world, then you cross the bridge and enter the San Francisco world. There is the world of the Bay Area, and then you go into a portal. I don't think it's like in the first third of the movie. Go into a portal, and now you're in China. You're in a province in China that's doing the clothing making. And so there's kind of this like relationship between two distinct worlds that keeps coming up. And so one of the things that was so interesting was like the very clear urban bitches. It was
low class
urban bitches. It was her complaint because there is a group of people that are stealing clothes from her empire. But then the clothing store is called Metro
Designs.
Let's just say it's Metro Designs. And Metro is just urban. Like that is the same connotation. And then there was this long conversation about how Keke Palmer was like wearing a blue outfit, and she said this is turquoise, and then the Demi Moore character said that's aquamarine. And so there's this like kind of playing with how language can be so world specific. And so like the idea of these low class urban bitches is different than Metro somehow. You know, urban and Metro are clearly have different values assigned to them because of their use in this sort of playing with. And then we see the designs that are on Keke Palmer's sort of design desk, and she creates this design that is, she's like, they must have just thought it was too weird to be selected for their portfolio. And then that same design is used by Demi Moore and has made it chic somehow because Demi Moore has decided, shouldn't keep calling her Demi Moore, but Demi Moore's character has decided that she can make the design palatable to like a white shopper base, which I think was just like really interesting, playing with how the same thing in two different contexts carries such a different weight to it.
Well, yeah, there sort of was this message that people want the things that Black people produce. They just don't want Black people attached to them.
Yeah, right.
And so there was this theme of extraction throughout the entire thing.
Extraction felt like, yes, this very key part of the show. I'm thinking about how this fits in with the other thing that I really liked, which was about the talking heads on the news. But I don't think that had anything to do with extraction, really. I could stretch it, but
I will say, I found the ending, which I don't need to reveal a lot of the details, I found it to be a touch heavy-handed, in that what is presented in the film is a fairly complex situation.
Right.
The way that capitalism extracts value and innovation from vulnerable people and sort of traps people in these cycles of exploitation. And then there was a fairly simplistic solution presented to that, which ultimately boiled down to, we need to organize. And though I do strongly support that message, it did sort of portray itself as, you know, we have all the answers for how to solve this complex problem.
I think that it was less so that the answers that we need to organize is being too simplistic. It was providing like a one clear path to organizing that felt a little bit simplistic. Whereas in the film, they were playing a lot with different modes of resistance and what these different paths could and should do. And so I think, it was a bit too neat at the end for me. But I didn't make a feature-length film, so who am I to judge?
So true.
Yeah.
I had the sense watching it that it was a brilliant film. And I also, it's a little bit more Boots Riley than anything I have ever seen before. And so I have this sense that every project he does, he's getting a little bit closer to,
and I love that,
Boots Riley.
Totally.
And so
let's hope he never gets there.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have the sense that there is a magnum opus
in
his future that he is getting closer and closer to. And I hope for him, the thing that I hope for every artist is that he continues grasping and continues getting closer and closer to that sort of unachievable, perfect final. Toby? Tabby? Can you stop being annoying creature?
I think that one thing I really liked,
Toby?
and this is deeply embedded in the Tobin.
You are a baby.
This felt like it was deeply embedded both in the plot and in what I love about indie film and like heavily local film. It's like this movie was literally about making the implicit explicit, right? And like one of the features of this like sort of hyper technology device that they were using was something called the
situational accelerator.
No, the opposite of that. It was that too, but it was the deconstruct mode was like breaking things down to their composite parts, which I think is the mission of anti-capitalist intellectual work, is like about uncovering the sort of, because I mean this reminds me so much of Katrine Marsal's book Who Cooked Adam Smith's Dinner, which you and I talk frequently about, and like this book paints this picture of like capitalism shows us these products that kind of arrive for us to buy and then masks all of the exploitative back end work that goes into products. And so I think that this movie was so almost educational in talking about how there are parts to these things that we take for granted. You know, how things get made, how things get sold. I think that was like, I don't know, I just like feels like this is what the value of this sort of indie film world was. And also, and then so maybe this is exploitation fits into the sort of talking head. There were these talking heads throughout the film, and one of them was called Crying Black Mother. There was a white guy, I don't remember what his thing was, but the talking heads, they were saying, and you could miss it completely because it sounds plausible just the way that they were saying it, but all of the talking heads on the news were saying things like people need to go to work. You know, it was just like these like very pro-capitalism talking points that
if I want to pay more for housing, why shouldn't I?
Yeah, right. Like someone again, it was pro-market rate housing where she was like, yeah, exactly. So like making explicit the sort of mission of news as well, which I thought was really interesting. So cool.
Excellent film.
Yeah, excellent film. 4.5 I would say 4.5 stars.
I would say 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, it was just, the ending was not quite there for me. But but it just had this very like, they played with the medium. It was ridiculous and absurd, which I actually really liked. Like, I don't know, it just reminded me of a fairy tale comic book-esque type of storytelling that I was just like, yes, like they're using absurdity as a way of instilling information faster, you know? And I think that worked for me. Yeah.
Fantastic film.
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not
Should we just call it that?
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today. This has been Thespians TV.
We honestly mostly did this for the clips, so.
Well, maybe this whole thing is for the clips.
It probably is.
Although, this will not be clipped. This I am saying only to our long-form viewers.
Yes.
Thank you for supporting independent queer media. And we hope that over the course of our entire artistic project, we are consistently delivering value to you, not just clips. However, we will still be giving clips.
You have to understand. Like we just we have to
just between us.
Yeah, look.
Just between friends.
I'm going to look at this camera now.
Okay, here we are.
Just between us, okay? We have to make the clips. We have to.
That's part of it.
We just have to do it, and we have to. We want you to watch our TV show. So if you're watching this, like our goal here is we're trying to get you to watch a TV show that we spent a lot of time on, and so I know it looks like we're doing the same thing that the Clippers are doing. It's like, but we're making a clip farm because we want you to watch this thing that we actually spent a really long time on.
Mm-hmm. And you'll see clips of that too.
And we'll be posting clips of that as well.
But please watch the full episodes when they arrive.
We believe in long form, okay? I understand that what you're seeing right now is clips, but we believe in slow television.
And so our promise to you is that we're going to consistently be delivering long form content.
Yeah.
And it will be good to engage with in its full form. And so please do so because you are our true supporters.
Yes, you.
So turn off your phone and open your laptop or or however people watch TV. Go to the YouTube
put down your
app
Apple
on
Watch.
your Apple TV.
Put down your Apple Watch. Go to your phone. Then in the phone, click close the window.
Turn off the phone.
Go to YouTube, widescreen, good old fashioned widescreen on your computer.
Not vertical. Go on your
computer.
Go
widescreen.
And then Chromecast
to the TV.
Your TV.
Yeah.
Watch it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's designed to be watched.
Seriously.
And turn off your phone. Don't be texting.
Come on. Put the phone down.
Because you know what? Studios are out there and they're saying, oh, we need to dumb down our TV because people are on their phones while they're watching TV. And we're intentionally not dumbing down our TV, but that is because we're trusting you to turn off your phone while you're watching it, okay?
Listen, you. Listen. The studios called you dumb.
We're not calling
you dumb. We're saying you're smart.
We think you deserve long form content.
Yeah.
But we're making an agreement, you and me.
Mm-hmm.
The three of us.
Between the three of us.
We just need you to pay full attention when you watch our long form content.
Seriously. And also, guys, the payoff. Think of the payoff.
The payoff.
What I remember when I was a kid, I loved television. I was a lonely child, mostly. I would watch my box set of Gilmore Girls, okay, on a computer with a disk drive, and I would put the DVD into the disk drive of the computer, and as soon as it entered, it would launch the DVD app, and it would bounce on your little dock, and then you would have this WB logo. You couldn't skip it. You had to watch it. There was no fast forward. Then you got to the menu. Then you picked your episode. And then it would load. And you couldn't skip through the theme song. Okay? So when I watched the entire third season of Gilmore Girls in one night, I had to watch that theme song 22 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, look.
So thank you for your patience.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for believing in us.
And we think you're smart.
We think that you're smart enough that you deserve real television, not this bullcrap that's made by AI and by studio executives who think that you're too dumb to trace the plot of an entire season.
Yeah.
And you need Lindsay Lohan in her final speech in a movie to be explaining the plot of the entire thing just because you were probably on your phone when it was happening.
But we know you're going to be different.
Not us.
And we know you are special.
You are special. And smart. Sure. And our friend. Anyway, follow us on Patreon.
Yeah. Come watch our show.
Yeah.
And you'll see clips here every week.
Mm-hmm. Love you.
Bye.